Hello everyone, today I have a really fun topic. Books for the girls who love to yearn. Actually, books for anyone who likes to yearn. This is the lineup. I think I'll talk about a classic first, Normal People. Now, if I were to teach a class about this would be the required reading. This would be like, read it over the summer before you get to class, because girl, you gotta know. My guess is that most of you already read this, but there are some people I run into who don't even know this exists, and that blows my mind. This takes place in Ireland. Our two main characters, Marianne and Connell. In the show, Connell is played by Paul Mescal, and Marianne is played by Daisy Edgar Jones. So if you want a mental image, there you go. Basically, they meet in high school. Marianne's not very popular. Connell is very popular. Connell's mom works for Marianne's family. They see each other a lot outside of school, and they actually get along really well. But Connell is very afraid of the fact that she's not very liked at school, and he thinks that if she is seen with him at school, she'll tarnish his little reputation. So even though they kind of start building this very, very sweet and genuine bond, he refuses to let it be known, and she just lets it happen because what else is she gonna do? She really loves him. It takes place over a few years. They start in high school, ends in college. It's just a beautiful look at, it's also painful, I will say. It's a beautiful yet painful look at the price we pay for the people we love. Great book. I got this in Ireland when I went at Hodges Figgis. So this is my prized possession. Next, Sunburn by Chloe Michelle Haworth. It's about a girl named Lucy. This takes place in 1990s Ireland. Again, I don't know why it's all Ireland. In a really small town where everyone's kind of very traditional, very conservative. You're kind of like expected to just get married to a man and then have his kids and then like continue on your family tradition of like owning your farm and, you know, all that traditional life stuff. This becomes a big problem when Lucy starts to fall in love with her friend Susanna. This book does a really good job of portraying that moment of discovering your sexuality and kind of grappling with it, because I feel like a lot of people that are not queer kind of assume that like you are automatically just kind of okay with yourself. Maybe not. Maybe that's not an assumption, but it kind of seems like that sometimes. But it's very common to kind of also be homophobic towards yourself, especially when you grow up in a town like this one where it is just really frowned upon to be anything but what they expect of you. And so in this book, she's really grappling with like, why do I feel this way about this girl? I've never even felt this way about anyone. Like, why would it be Susanna? I love reading lesbian romance because it's so poetic. In this book, she is also dealing with her family kind of setting her up with her neighbor who she's kind of grown up with. And she's basically like expected to marry him. And so at this age, her family's like, well, you should probably be like going on dates and stuff, and he should be courting you. And she kind of like uses that as a cover up. And so she kind of starts like dating him and then having a secret relationship with the woman she's actually in love with. And it's her first relationship of any sort with both of them. And so she's learning like what it's like to be with a guy and what it's like to be with a woman. And I think her observations are very funny and very honest and relatable. For example, page 127, there is an unwritten rule with boys. You can't go all the way with them. They use you and they don't come back. It sounds like so much work for no reward, but Susanna gives me what I want and more than what I want, and I can't imagine not coming back. There won't ever be a time when I have had enough. I will always come back. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? They also are like writing letters to each other. Lucy writes a letter to Susanna that says, I have never felt closer to heaven than I felt today on the road with you. Now I am away from you. I have never felt further from home, further from myself. You are a spill of gleaming gold on my otherwise dull and pointless world. Like, oh my god, the way that if you put two emotionally intelligent women together, the things they're gonna write to each other should be put down in history. Call Me By Your Name. We all know this book. This is a very popular, widely known book, and also the movie is extremely popular. Found this when I was at the bookstore in Ireland, actually, and then I read it in Spain, and it was very magical reading this abroad. The movie is great, okay? The movie is phenomenal, but this is a whole different story. If you like the movie, you gotta read the book. The entire book is basically just the inner monologue of Elio discovering Oliver, becoming obsessed with Oliver, falling in love with Oliver, and the things he observes and the way he thinks about Oliver. It's just, you need to read it. Like, you cannot get all of this from just a visual. And this is not to say that the movie is bad. The movie is amazing. There's a feeling I got from reading this book that I did not get from watching the movie. Reading books that you're in their head, you can read their thoughts, like it's laid out for you, and that just doesn't happen with a movie. It's phenomenal. Best for last, Heart the Lover by Lily King. I've talked about this before and I'm gonna talk about it again. I love her. I drove almost 2 hours to go to this book signing / Q&A in San Diego because it was the only date I could make it, and I was not going to miss this because I love this book. This book is about a girl who's in college. She actually does not technically have a name that is said in this book, but she ends up meeting two guys named Sam and Yash, and they give her a nickname called Jordan. So they end up calling her Jordan. So that's kind of her name throughout the book. She starts kind of dating Sam, and because Sam and Yash are roommates, she spends a lot of time with the two of them. While she is in the early stages of dating Sam, she kind of starts to realize that he's a bit of a prick and he's kind of awful. And while she's realizing that, she's also realizing that she might have feelings for Yash. And the way that these feelings blossom is, once again, a very good portrayal of an undeniable, unintentional love story, which is my favorite. Okay, I hate forced love. I hate love at first sight. I love when it's the most inconvenient thing that could happen to you. And that's what happens here, especially because when you fall in love with someone when you are not trying to fall in love with anyone, and especially when it's someone you probably shouldn't be falling in love with, that is the best. She starts to feel these things. She starts to have more interest in his life and what he's doing. And there's a few moments where Sam's not in the room and it's just Yash and Jordan, and they share these conversations and these moments of total emotional intimacy. That's just like, it is so rare for two people to share that kind of understanding. They just so deeply understand each other. This is not a book that's pro-cheating. Like, that's not what this is. Because it's very obvious from the start that her and Sam are just not good together, and that Sam is just not, like, I don't know. When I was reading this book, I was not in any way feeling bad for him. And I think that's how you're meant to feel. There's a moment where Jordan and Yash are in the kitchen cooking because Sam doesn't make breakfast. But of course Jordan and Yash do. So they're making breakfast together, and it's just like chill because they're all friends. And Sam comes in and he says something like out of touch that's just like a little bit pricky because he's kind of a prick. Jordan and Yash are both cutting things on a cutting board, and Jordan taps the knife twice to signal to Yash, like, you know, some unspoken like agreement that Sam's kind of cuckoo, and Yash just does the signal right back. It's the little things that just make it feel so real that I'm like, oh my god, like, you guys are perfect. You guys are actually perfect. And there's just, in the first half of the book, there's such a build-up. Let me also just say, I hate reading romance. I've really grown a strong hatred for romance, and I just can't stand, like, books that are only about falling in love. I don't like spice. I'm so jaded with romance. What makes this book really special is that it's about romance in the truest sense. Because like I said, it is not expected, it's so inconvenient, they're trying to deny it, but the buildup is there. When I was reading the book, there was a moment where something kind of happens that I had been like waiting for and hoping for. And when it finally happened, I had like a physical reaction. Like it was almost like I was about to go on my first date or something. My stomach was like full of butterflies and I was like sweating in my heart. Like it sent my body into like a full-on adrenaline rush, which is crazy because it's just words on a page. But with Lily King, it's so much more than that. This book goes on to do so much more with that story. This is the photo I took of myself after I finished reading it. Those are real tears. It's just, it's such a good book. I will defend it till the day I die. Whoever you are, you will love it. Anyway, that is my collection of books to yearn. Books for girls who love to yearn. Follow me on Goodreads and keep reading.